How about another Yahoo?
Yeah, sure.
Nightmare about a Nuthead? Since a few days ago, I keep having this nightmare about seeing a Nuthead everywhere.
Wait, what?
In the dream, I'd see him appear to me like a ghost through house windows from the inside, on the ending of a road not too far, street corners, libraries, fire exit, and other creepy places. He would disappear 2 seconds after I spot him. What do you think can happen next in the dream? I'm not having any mental problems or disturbances.
You're going to die.
You're going to die from a nut attack.
You know, the greatest thing about Pokemon is how it encourages you to love and train whatever Pokemon you want. But with over 800 unique monsters to choose from, at least a few aren't going to gel with you. The next 10 Pokemon are my personal hit list for the worst Pokemon designs. It helps if they're also weak in battle or just not that fun to use. The countdown begins with the brand new Pokemon introduced just a few months ago, Meltan. Now, when fans complain that the Pokemon Company has run out of Pokemon design ideas, I usually just roll my eyes. Inanimate Pokemon are fine, variant Pokemon are fine. How about copy an existing Pokemon and add an inanimate object on top of it? I gotta say, if this is the caliber we can expect in Gen 8, then I might just have to join on the hate bandwagon, cause I just can't defend this thing. Just look at it! This is the exciting new Pokemon to get me hyped about Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. Meltan, the Hex Nut Pokemon, is a silver ditto with a nut on its head. That's it. Pre-order your Pokeball Plus today! So this thing was kinda leaked into Pokemon Go in late September of this year, and then given this lavish trailer in October to announce that it was the 808th Pokemon, and a mythical no less. There's just so much wrong with this thing. First of all, when this mysterious Pokemon was released, people thought it was a bug or just Niantic having a laugh with some Fakemon. The thing even evolved into Ditto when caught. What else were we supposed to think it was? But no, the Pokemon Company was super proud of this dumb thing. There's nothing creative about it. We literally already have a Molten Steel legendary Pokemon with Heatran, which even sounds similar. Now, he's not much of a looker, but his Fire Steel typing is a lot more useful, and for a pure Steel type, I'd always put my money on my boy Registeel, so what gives? He's a pathetic weakling with basically no moves who evolves into this monstrosity who literally only has one decent unique move with double Iron Bash, but gets completely melted by fire. Fitting, I suppose. And the fact that this silver turd needs to be caught an ungodly amount of times to even evolve goes entirely against it being a mythical Pokemon. These things are like spare change, it can't go 2 steps without running into one. Above all else, he's just boring. I'll give the marketing team props for making a kind of endearing trailer, but if you need a flashy 2-minute commercial to sell me on a design, you're seriously wasting your time. Alright, here's a friggin' softball. Stantler from Gen 2 is the definition of an out-of-date, useless Pokemon. Basically relegated to the bargain bin from the moment it was introduced, even amongst the abundance of terrible normal types, Stantler is way outclassed. Normal types are the absolute worst type. Hate them. And they often have bland or straight up bad designs. No type advantages or disadvantages except for the rare ghost type means they're a master of none and just dull to use. Sometimes this means they can be really bulky or have access to a bunch of weird coverage moves, but for ugly lumps like Stantler, you're banking on your pitiful 85 special attack to catch somebody with a surprise psychic. And that's just pitiful. The idea of a majestic reindeer to complement the woodsy vibe of the Johto region was a cool idea. Too bad none of the game developers have ever seen a reindeer before. That droopy bulldog mouth over a beak? Why'd you give it a butt ball? It wouldn't be for another 11 years until Game Freak came up with a good deer design with Deerling and Sawsbuck. It looks a lot better and has a memorable gimmick with the seasonal coats. It's grass normal, which gives it some actual options, and I'm actually really fond of it. Pokemon, you can send Stantler off to pasture now. It's been replaced.
We don't want you around anymore! Go! You get going right now!
And oh god, what's that cry? Seriously, never come back! Happy holidays. And to prove I'm not some Gen 1er, here's my pot shot at the first one fitty, Hypno. To me, Gen 1 is just the most consistently meh generation. Not a lot of greats, but not a lot that rile me up either. They started some real bad habits in Gen 1, but they're iconic. Hypno, on the other hand, is just plain creepy. Pretty much every Pokemon fan now associates Hypno with its creepypasta Hypno's Lullaby, which is backed up by its Pokedex entries, which all talk about it eating your dreams and kidnapping your children. And don't go believing the Alolan propaganda that it's only targeting Kamala or assisting doctors. That's just what it wants you to believe. Like, honestly, I don't have anything against the concept. Drowsy is actually a spot-on depiction of a Japanese Baku down to that tapir-like nose. Drowsy has a good design. How should we evolve it? How about a human nose, human hands, and a feather boa? How about we take away the brown belly and just make it a nude Simpsons character? Why does it only have 3 toes? Why does it lose its mouth? Of all the humanoid Pokemon in Gen 1, Hypno is the most disturbing and somehow the worst psychic type in a gen where psychics were unstoppably broken. He's just a mediocre mess with no excuse to exist. Oh look, it's another pure normal type, and it's just look at it. Ugh. I'm glad I don't have trypophobia. Exploud is just some kind of terrible purple ape full of pipes and orifices. This guy is a prime example of why I would not want to live in the Pokemon world. This thing's always sucking in air through its pipe organ head and its crazy exhaust buttholes, and then howling so loud it sends earthquakes that can be heard 6 miles away. Who the hell would want this Pokemon? It's just constantly scowling with that big dumb mouth hanging open. I mean, just shut your trap for once. Oh god, I take it back, open it, open it! Oh, Whisper is so cute, too. But Loudron and Exploud are like obnoxious teenagers who insist on rehearsing their god-awful Screamo band in the garage next door. Don't even get me started on its stats or move pool. This thing sucks and blows in more ways than one. Now, let me direct you through our Hall of Spikes and other over-designed bits. They went a little nuts with the megas there. And here we have the Alola region's Turtonator, what we in the research field would classify as a grade A clusterfuck. Game Freak, we had turtles! We got some good turtles! We got 2 good turtles! We don't need a Pokemon of this! It's bad enough that Turtonator came from the strong bad school of dragon design, but everything about it is a nope. Bright yellow tube snout, nope. Painted on clown lips, double nope. The thing doesn't even look at you when it's fighting. He's like peering over his shoulder like some kind of delinquent, or else he's flexing that star-shaped gaping hole in his chest. This makes me so uncomfortable to look at it. And I feel justified knowing that this thing is trash competitively. Fire and Dragon is a really awesome and rare type that's squandered on such a waste of space. His only gimmick is sitting there like a landmine waiting for you to physically attack him, so just whittle him down with special moves. His special defense and speed are a joke. This opening fight from the Sun and Moon anime is the coolest you will ever be, Turtonator. Now go crawl back under a rock where you belong.
For example, this is a sucking turtle.
This one hurts you guys. It really does. Of all the Pokemon on this list, I wanted to love this guy, and he was going to be on my Moon team from day one. I love Crabrawler. From first I laid eyes on this feisty little boxing coconut crab, I was actually excited about having a pure fighting type. He's so cute, from his bulbous body and his black eye to his determined fighting stance. This boy means business, and I just adore him. His purple and cyan colors are also really unique and pop with the tropical island aesthetics of the Alola region. I knew this guy had to evolve, but the design wasn't revealed before the game was launched, so I persevered and kept Crabrawler around, hoping in vain it would live up to my expectations. Turns out Crabrawler can't evolve until literally before challenging the Elite Four at the end of the game. Strike 1. It also becomes a fighting ice type, making it extremely susceptible to common attacks, even other fighting types. Strike 2, and then just all this. That is an unlovable Pokemon. Strike 3. The biggest disparity between any 2 evolutions, Crabominable is just a wasted opportunity. Now I could look past the typing. Ice and fighting are both pretty offensive and complement each other nicely, but that design is just hideous. That gruff determination evaporates into a big dopey grin, and that cool spiked pompadour becomes a weird bowl cut with 2 alfalfa strands. Completely loses all his authority. Plus, just give him purple breasts and dog paws while you're at it. Just give him 0 redeeming qualities. You just had to make a cool Yeti crab. Look, Gastric Tank over here made his own redesign. Tell me that's not a straight up better looking Pokemon. Look how easy that was. For that reason, he's not higher on the list, but it doesn't make it hurt any less. You want inanimate objects? You want a cluster of 3 smaller Pokemon to make one bigger Pokemon? Put them together and what do you got? Klinklang, Klinklang! Ken, my man, you could have spoken up. You let this happen. You didn't even try! Klink is a couple of floating gears with little cute faces on them. That's a fine idea for a Pokemon. So how are you gonna top it?
Oh no! Not Mr. Big Cog!
No, okay, what is that? You put a hula hoop on it, and it's a different Pokemon. Give me a break. You couldn't even come up with a name for this piece of garbage. I think this Pokemon was literally designed by an algorithm. It's the only logical explanation. Look here, Magnemite, small, cute, machine-based, Magneton. Oops, it's just 3 Magnemites. But wait, of course, the magnet Pokemon are gonna lump together and look how they fan out. That's a nice design. The word Magneton is a real unit of magnetic movement. Oh, what's this? Magnezone. That's an entirely different Pokemon. They fused into a UFO. Novel, interesting, very memorable. Magnetic Zone, I gotcha. So what was the process of designing Klinklang? Bunch of gears. Bunch of gears means a more complicated machine. Goes Klinklang. Mwah. Beautiful. Simplicity in its purest form. Excuse me while I go drown myself. Ooh boy, now we're getting into the good stuff, the ones that really get my blood boiling, my veins popping. How appropriate, because next up is the muscular Pokemon, or should I say, the skin vein clown posse, Conkeldurr. Whoo, that is a tall glass of clown muscles. Look at what your hubris has wrought, Game Freak. You guys are a bunch of freaks, aren't you? That much is perfectly clear. Where do I even begin with this thing? And stop giving me those bedroom eyes. This massive undulating lump of muscles and veins is unsightly whichever way you look at it. Now, we've had creepily human bodybuilding Pokemon since the Machamp line, but Conkeldurr pushed it a little further and asked, but what if it was an old man with a clown nose? No, you slap that design right out of the designer's hand. Bad designer, bad. Oh, but he's got 3 fingers and a tumor on his head. Think of the merchandise. Oh, okay, you're right. The pre-evolutions are just as bad. Gurdurr gives off a real unmistakable fleshy quality, and Timber looks like a right Mankey git. Not like that kind of Mankey. If you wanted Pokemon based off construction workers, there's gotta be a better way. Plus, a sluggish pure fighting type isn't gonna get anything done other than eat a psychic blast to the face. You can't spell Conkeldurr without Durr. And wrapping up our tour of the Unova region, everyone's favorite topless genie god, the force of nature.
I don't know who to thank first. Oh, I know. Me.
No, Scout.
Yeah, boom.
Get out of here.
That's right.
Talking about Landorus, you know, the Pokemon.
No, seriously, you all suck.
I get it, Game Freak. I don't envy the design process, especially for legendary Pokemon. Got a lot of good folklore over there in Nippon. The Wind and Thunder gods are a pretty big deal, and they're all crazy ripped demon ogres. I get it. But why'd you gotta settle on this template? For 3 Pokemon. 1 was bad enough. We could have had just 1 nasty genie man, but no, you guys were real proud of this one too. What about this nude, jaundiced, blotchy, bulging, mustachioid man on a cloud with his phallic horse schlong of a tail makes you think of Pokemon? What kind of mouth is that even? This guy wouldn't even get a seat at lunch next to the Yokai Watch kids, and those guys are into some freaky deaky stuff. Designs aside, I hate these guys because they're so darn useful. I had to see them friggin' everywhere. Pokemon Internationals 2015 Video Game Masters Division Top 8. Landorus and or Thundurus on every team. Guess who was popular over in the TCG? Oh, more Ding Dang Landorus. Guess who's still kicking in 2018? This stupid thing is unmatched and not going away anytime soon. Thankfully, they've introduced Therian forms to all these dudes to make them look at least a little Pokemon-like, albeit still with the weird man faces. Therian Tornadus is probably the worst of the bunch, but not any less viable. Landorus takes the cake for being the most prominent and hogging the only ground-flying type combo. If one of these guys came out of a lamp, I'd use all 3 of my wishes to banish these disgusting Jin from the annals of history! Before I bow out, let me rank the remaining Pokemon types. My least favorite types, from least bad to worst, are Ice, Dragon, Poison, Dark, Fire, Flying, Ground, Rock, and those pathetic normies. The lowest average rating for each generation is 6.07 for Gen 5, 5.62 for Gen 7 plus Alolan variants, and 5.58 for the super bland Gen 1 designs. Gens 5 and 7 are 2 of my favorites, but have the highest highs and lowest lows of the series. But my least favorite mainline games are Diamond and Pearl, Red and Blue, and X and Y. And the worst Pokemon design of all time is none other than Gen 3's come on, it's the face Pokemon for crying out loud. Glalie is as unsightly as it is confusing. Why on earth does this precious little teepee boy have to evolve into some kind of perpetually ticked off meteor man? Oh, and did I mention it's a 5-foot tall floating skull? Frostlass ain't much better, folks. Seriously, Snorunt needs to be cherished and protected and deserves so much better. What's up with the name even? Glalie. Even saying it out loud feels like coughing up a hairball. Glalie. What, it's like a glacier goalie? What does that even have to do? No, you can't be serious. The face Pokemon is supposed to be a hockey mask? As if I needed more reasons to hate this Pokemon. It's freaking Jason Voorhees' disembodied head. Oh yeah, and when it Mega Evolves, it just unhinges its jaw and chomps down on its prey. Yeah, how nice. That's real comforting, just floating there, mouth agape. Looks like it's wearing a skull on its head now. I wonder what it looks like underneath. Oh, no, put it back! And what, like, part of its gimmick is to have totally balanced stats? Yawn. Again, Ice is pretty much the worst defensive typing, and spreading your stats thin is only going to make you less useful. Just repulsive to look at and terrible to play with, Glalie is the epitome of bad Pokemon design, and I'd rather stick my head in a snowbank than ever use this godforsaken hunk of ice. Well, that was the list, and I hope you hated it. Now, let me reiterate that Pokemon is way more good than bad, and if you want to see me really geek out on my personal favorite Pokemon, you can click this link or check in the description. This project was supposed to be a really quick palate cleanse for the channel, but I hope to be a little more consistent in 2019, so please consider subscribing for more, and I'll catch you in the next one.